Good morning, everybody, and this is your DAX day trade setup for today. So 3 days in a row we're going up, and it has left basically 3 gaps as well. So there's a gap down here, there's a gap there, and a gap there. So are there breakaway gaps? Probably at this stage, but gaps do tend to get closed sort of more often than not. So I do expect it to come back somewhere along the line. But at the moment, it looks like it's one-way traffic and bounce off the 155 EMA. Oscillators grouped nicely to the downside and crossed over and pointing up. So looking at the daily, probably a half-decent area to be looking for longs. But yeah, I suppose we need to get through some structure first. So let's just see what kind of structure we do have. And we're back in this chaos of last week. You can see that sideways chaos of last week. So I think what I actually want to do is let's just be very critical here. So that was the structure that was formed last week, and it was the whole week. It was just Friday that we broke down, and then Monday we continued to the downside, and then we reversed pretty much, came back to the top. So we are on the 155 EMA. Oscillators are now grouped to the upside. This is divergence at the moment. You can see there's a high, and that's a previous high. So there's two scenarios here. So the first one is we've come back to test the structure. That was the structure, so we've come back to test it. So we test it, and the test is successful. In other words, we drop, and then I would expect these gaps to be targeted and stay below the moving averages. But if we just get back to the hour, and that's the level that we need to be paying attention to, you can see crossover of all the moving averages at the moment. So we're holding up above the 155. You can see Wednesday we were testing it, and then we gapped up and we stayed above it. So I would suspect some kind of price action in here, but one of two things here. We either find support at 15,612. If we can't find support there, then I suspect this gap will close. If this gap closes, sorry, the gap is there, that would test the moving averages as well. So if we get some bullish price action off this gap, I'd definitely be looking to buy. But the other thing to pay attention to is there's our first swing low, there's our second swing low, and we haven't really had another fractal except for that one. So big question here is that a break of that trend line? So in that case, you'd see a move down, buyers come in, move up, reject, and then move continue to the downside. So that would be a retest of the structure and continue to the downside. So kind of a 50-50 call. And if you just look to the left, you can see there's lots of chaos in between these levels that I've given you now. So I'm not really a confirmed buyer of the DAX until 15,767 gives way. Otherwise, I'm a scalper, and basically what that means is any pullback onto structure, I will buy. We are in an uptrend, but what I'm looking to do is I'm looking for some structure, and this is the first bit of structure, which is 15,500. So 15,516 area. That's kind of what I anticipate. Some kind of a move or drift down, and then another leg up to come and test this area here at 15,767. 15,767 is a massive area. And you can see, you look to the left, you can see all the chaos that's happened in between these two levels. So yeah, on the one hand, it is a pretty decent move to the upside, but whenever I see gaps like this, I'm a little bit cautious because I do expect some kind of pullback onto it. And a lot of time it'll come back to form a double bottom. So come all the way down to test it and then move up to the upside. So it's still confusion here for me. Still not really something I'll be trading today, I don't think. Not until we get through all this chaos here. So I hope it helps you somewhat, and we will catch up with you next week, bright and breezy Monday morning. Hope it helps, and enjoy the weekend. Cheers for now.